So you got to protect him. But I'm just saying, flip side to that is, you Deion Sanders, you know, I would want him to want to coach in the NFL for a different reason other than that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say.
So let me ask you this question. And this is uncomfortable, but it's real. Do you think Sheduer Sanders is a 4-year starter anywhere else outside of being coached by his dad?
A 4-year starter?
He is a 4-year starter. He was 2-year starter at Jackson State. He was another 2-year starter at Colorado. If Sheduer goes
I didn't
to
see enough of him when he was younger. I think over the last 2 years, he was definitely worthy of being the starter, obviously.
2 years. But I'm saying, going to the University of Georgia, Notre Dame, going to Texas, right? Does Sheduer Sanders start at a Power 4 university outside?
Let's ask RC that.
Well, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this, and, you know, we'll talk about it when the draft comes. Quentin Ewers ain't finna get drafted higher than Sheduer Sanders. Carson Beck ain't going to be drafted higher than Sheduer Sanders if he decides to come out. And so when we're comparing him to his actual peers at the position at this time, it doesn't matter if he would be a 4-year starter. I know what I've seen on film is better than all of these guys at all of these other schools. Yeah. And when Deion Sanders sat on the pivot, I said to him, it seems extremely strategic by you. You go to Jackson State when Sheduer is coming out of college and he's able to start there 2 years, gain that experience. And then you move on to Colorado, who didn't have an incumbent quarterback that was worth anything or had any sort of name. So now Sheduer takes over that position without any opposition, without any pushback. I think what we're forgetting about what Deion has done is this. This team was 1-11 when he took over. He finished this regular season at 9-3 with the Heisman Trophy winner. And above that, I've been to many senior days in college. I have never seen, once in my life, a player ask a coach to walk with him because his parents couldn't be there. There is an impact that Deion Sanders has had on Colorado far beyond wins and losses, even though they won 8 more games this year than they did 2 years ago, and they got a Heisman Trophy with
What's going on, man? Come back at y'all guys with another video, man, you know. And for this video, you know, I got Carson Beck on the roster, and I got Sheduer Sanders on the roster. Now, I'm coming back at y'all with this video, just like I said I would, because I mentioned Carson Beck in another video, and I said I was going to come back and do another video, and, you know, really, you know, state why I think, you know, Carson Beck, you know, is worth, you know, $10 million, you know. So I was watching, you know, Cam Newton, Stephen A, and dang, what's the guy name? The guy, Ryan Clark. Yeah, Ryan Clark. I was watching Ryan Clark, Stephen A. Smith, and Cam Newton have a conversation about Sheduer Sanders, you know, and you know, basically, you know, how good is Sheduer Sanders overall? Will Sheduer Sanders start for any college team, you know, if, you know, he wasn't playing for his father, Deion? You know, they were just going into, you know, a whole lot of stuff about Sheduer Sanders, you know. But I seen one thing that Ryan Clark said, and he said, you know, when asked if Sheduer would start anywhere in the country, you know, other than Colorado, Ryan Clark said, he said, he didn't say whether Sheduer Sanders would start anywhere else in the country, but what he said was, you know, Sheduer Sanders' NFL grade is better than a whole lot of, you know, other starting quarterbacks for these big programs, right? And I'm just bringing up Sheduer Sanders and Carson Beck, right? And this these NFL grades on these quarterbacks, you know. And I'm just gonna show y'all how the system can be flawed, right? So Carson Beck and sheduersanders, right? Who do I think the best quarterback is? Sheduersanders' NFL grade is better than Carson Beck, but I think Carson Beck is a way better quarterback than sheduersanders, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. Right? So I'm just speaking facts now. Carson Beck had a draft stock drop tremendously this year, and a whole lot of people were wondering, like, who is this guy, Carson Beck? Right? Carson Beck looked totally different from last year. They were even questioning if Carson Beck was an NFL quarterback. Now I'm gonna say it like this, homie. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm just finna start from the first game Georgia lost to Alabama. Now I was watching that game. You know, Georgia and Alabama, right? Now when that game first started, Georgia got the ball on offense. The game first started. The first play of the game, Carson Beck go deep, right? Carson Beck go deep, right? And I'm talking about he go deep and he throw one of the prettiest balls I ever seen a quarterback throw. I'm talking about when he released the ball, he released that ball with so much confidence. I'm talking about he threw one of the prettiest ball a quarterback can throw. And I watched that ball go down the field. You know, I watched that ball go down the field, hit the receiver perfectly right in the
You can't replace Brock Bowers, one of the greatest tight ends you've ever seen in this sport. Matt McConkey was a big play guy. So put the pieces together. Beck will take a deep shot. One-on-one battle downfield off the hands of Arian Smith. He's a guy that can take the top off the defense, and they challenge the true freshman Xavier Brown.
The safety from Alabama came down late. They showed too high, and then the safety ends up coming down, so he knows right away, I got a shot. I'm going to challenge these young corners. That's a true freshman corner. How about the ball here? Arian Smith against a true freshman, Xavier Brown. You take that every single time, puts it on the money, and Smith unable to hold on to that big gain.
And you know what happened? The receiver dropped the ball. The receiver dropped the ball. And I'm talking about, if you was a Georgia Bulldog fan, and you ain't seen this happening the whole season, then I really just question your whole outlook on the football. Like, Carson Beck Georgia receivers. I think this year Georgia had one of the baddest receiver corps like they ever had in history. Like Georgia receivers, they didn't help Carson Beck out none this year. I'm talking about so many drop balls. You know, I'm talking about they dropping balls when it counted. You know, and now I go over to sheduersanders, right? When you look at sheduersanders receiver corps, like sheduersanders had one of the best receiver corps in the country. You know, Colorado Buffaloes, like those guys all those guys, you know, got NFL potential. You know, sheduersanders probably had all those guys who started for Colorado are NFL receivers. You know, they was the best receiver from their high school team. They was the best receivers out there. They was the best receivers on their college teams before they came to Colorado. They was the best receivers out their conference before they came to Colorado. All those guys are NFL receivers. But you know what I seen watching Colorado Buffaloes? I seen a whole lot of underthrown balls. Like I seen a whole lot of times, you know, those receivers had to wait for the pass, had to reroute or something, readjust, you know, just to make a play on the ball because Shedeur underthrew the ball. You know, so that's why I think, you know, Carson Beck and a whole lot of other receivers, they actually better quarterbacks than Sheduer Sanders. And that's why I think Ryan Clark wrong. And that's why I make my point that, you know, Carson Beck is actually a great quarterback. He worth $10 million. And a whole lot of guys are gonna see that, you know, next year, you know, with him being with Miami. But yeah, man, you know, I just want to come and, you know, and make this video. Y'all tell me what y'all think about everything I said. Y'all tell me what y'all think about Sheduer Sanders, Carson Beck signed a $10 million NIL deal. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I see y'all guys in that video. Yo.